I collected $23,282 for my client just last week. We did $40,000 in contracted revenue and achieved the 88% show rate with a 70% close rate. In this video, I aim to break down the exact process I use to achieve the results in 3 simple steps. Now, just to give you a bit of context, here is my client who is a Airbnb and property mentor who before work with me was stuck at about $5,000 a month selling direct one-on-one mentorship to his mentees. Now, just for the skeptics out there, here are obviously some screenshots proving the amount of cash we collected. So on Stripe we did about 10k, and through Bank we did 7.5k. Obviously this is in pounds, and that roughly approximates to about 23,000 USD. Now, we did this without spending a penny extra on ads, and all through the right strategy and intentional execution. Now, first things first is market research. I came into this offer without knowing nothing about the Airbnb market or anything about the niche in regards to how people sell it, what kind of angles are people using. So for me, it was very important to conduct thorough competitor analysis. And here's a bit of an example of how I did so. So I identified 3 whales, meaning 3 top dogs in the niche, and also 3 direct competitors who are sort of on the same level as my client. As you can see here, we did a full, comprehensive, thorough funnel audit and breakdown for us both to understand what these people are doing. First of all, what they're doing right, and also what they're doing wrong, and what we can double down on, and essentially find that edge in the market with our sales and messaging and angle a bit more on this later down the line. But essentially, by doing competitor analysis, you get to understand what other people are doing wrong, what sort of bottlenecks you can identify, if you can identify patterns, and obviously if you have it in a Miro board like that, you can sort of zoom out and see what things are working, what things aren't working. Now, when I say sales messaging and angle, I mean what am I going to use with my client to make his offer seem different to the market, because there are thousands of other people selling the exact same thing. What are we going to do to sort of protrude our USP and make sure people know that we are the real deal? Now, this leads perfectly into the offer creation and positioning. Now, before I was working with my client, there was no structure to the offer with a very, very weak guarantee, and it was priced way too low for the amount of time and effort that he was putting in. So what I did when I came in, the core offer remained the same. We were selling one-to-one mentoring. I wanted it to be high ticket. I added systems and structures into the offer, like follow-up accountability and a few other things, just to make the whole process more structured, to make it obviously more professional as well. I then increased the price by $2,000. Now, this is what a lot of business owners are scared to do, but in fact, it worked beautifully for us because A, we got more business through the door, and B, we were attracting a higher quality of client because obviously they had more money, less headaches, less problems. A lot of business owners are scared to do this, but in reality, it will benefit you in ways you couldn't even imagine before. Now, I also implemented a 30-day payment plan and a 2-way split just to make things easier, because prior there was no sort of payment plan or structure in place, and added in a no-brainer guarantee which protects us and also makes it a lot more valuable and attractive to the client as well. Now, in terms of positioning, which is again a lot of people overlook this in the online space, is how are we gonna compel and craft our offer to make it seem like it's an edge to the market or make us seem different to what the market's offering. Now, the way to do this, and the way I did this when I came in, was I crafted a comprehensive analysis on who our dream client is. I don't know why I said dream client. So what this means is I basically created a Google Doc outlining who our ICP is, their pain points, what they're running away from, what kind of dream outcome they want, what kind of things would hold them back, etc., etc. So really deep diving into the ICP, stepping into their shoes, because this is how you're going to perfectly understand how to sell to your client. Now, I positioned my offer according to this, and obviously according to competitor analysis as well. And me and my client, we both derived that the best way to position this offer was a no BS, results driven, no calls, no guru type angle, trying to sort of, step on high horse compared to the market where everyone's selling courses and false promises. And we are in a trust recession in the online space, meaning a lot of people are very skeptical when they come on things like this, especially in the Airbnb niche. I'm not sure if anyone knows, but there's been a lot of people getting exposed for their courses and their offers. So a lot of people are very skeptical. With all this in mind, with all the analysis, with all the ICP details I'd done, I knew that we had to focus on building trust with the prospect. So that's exactly what we did. Now, in terms of sales assets and backend, I set up the CRM with various automations for no-shows, pre-booking workflows, post-booking workflows, and everything else in between. Utilize the previous VSL that my client had as the lead magnet. Now, this all in a sense of being resourceful. I asked my client if he wanted to make a new VSL, but obviously that didn't really make sense because he already had one. So we instead used that VSL as a lead magnet because we changed up the funnel and decided to do a IG organic funnel. We crafted 3 further lead magnets, appointment setting SOP, scripts, frameworks, and obviously I revamped the entire sales process, which was the key to the castle in this case. And I'm going to show you exactly what type of funnel we use, which allows us to collect 23K in just 7 days. Now, this is the whole funnel setup, which I take through from top, middle, and bottom. So we are running the Sweet IG profile ads. As you guys know, or might not know, but IG profile ads are like the new wave in recent time, where driving traffic straight to Instagram page is working really well, especially if you have a really, really good appointment setting process in place, which I'll take you guys through in just a second. But essentially, we were aiming for 1 reel a day, 1 story sequence a day with my client, and obviously we were aiming to post 1 long form educational content piece every single week. Now, what this does, top of funnel, it generates eyes, attention. People know who my client is, what he does, and essentially this is obviously generating traffic. Now, all this traffic is funneled to his Instagram page, which is a bit different. Some people might go to a landing page via sales, but we wanted to do something a bit different, which further builds trust. So we added the middle of funnel nurturing process in place, which is basically a very simple money chat automation. I hired and trained an appointment setter. Every single new follower that comes to the page gets an introduction message and a thank you message. And from there, the appointment setter does his magic using a very, very straightforward framework. Current situation, desired situation, obviously provide value through lead magnets, and when appropriate, propose booking the meeting on Calendly. Now, as you can see here, this is the sort of VSL lead magnet that we're using. We call it the masterclass, which is a very thorough video of breaking down the whole process, obviously providing a lot of value to the prospect, and plus built many more sales assets on top of this. Now, bottom of funnel, Calendly qualification. This is how we're briefly qualifying the prospects. Now, it's nothing crazy. I've seen some crazy qualification criteria, but this is very, very simple. This allows us to understand what experience they have, how much money they have, and obviously just a preliminary question of are they willing to take action or not. And obviously from this, if someone puts less than £1,000, we know we can just cancel the call, or maybe ring them up or call them, message them, sorry, to see what the situation is. Now, from that Calendly qualification, once they book on a call, a group chat is made with the closer, the mentor, and the prospect. The reason for this is, like you can see through this image here, the mentor will send a video of himself explaining the process of the call, introducing the closer, and also just a bit more about the offer as well. Now, what this does, what I related back to my previous point, is increasing and establishing further trust. This is how we're gaining our edge in the market, where a lot of people are just maybe hiding behind a sales team. So a lot of mentors, I wanted my client to be out there, to be the face of the business in the best way possible. So essentially, our post-booking SOP looks something like this. Is closer creates the group chat, mentor says the video introducing closer, and also the offer, closer to intro himself and send him further free resources, again, further establishing that trust, and call reminders 24 hours and an hour before on top of email reminders as well. Now, what this does, like I said, it builds trust in the trust recession by creating familiarity, providing further value with more lead magnets, case studies, etc. And this is the exact process that led us to achieve an 88% show rate. Now, the call framework I introduced was a 2-call close. Now, this is a bit different to maybe how other people do it, where it's a simple 1-call close, simple B2C framework. The reason why I wanted to introduce a 2-call close framework, again, goes back to my point, is further establishing trust. Trust is so important here, and the exact reason why we were able to collect 23K in a week was because we had so much trust and authority built with my mentor when it came to the prospect. So this is how the calls went. So call 1 was a discovery call with the closer, where he'd basically do the whole closing framework, desired situation, current situation, value gap, solution awareness, and qualify, pitch, objection handle, and then book in for the follow-up call with the mentor no longer than 72 hours after. Now, the second call would be with a mentor, one-on-one. You can't beat that. My client, he introduces his background, further establishes himself as an authority and a top dog in the game. Now, what it does, again, further builds that trust. Now, we were able to achieve a 70% close rate with this two-call close framework. It is so powerful having the mentor himself on the call after, putting him on high horse, building that authority. The prospect gets on the call with the mentor, realizes it's the real deal. They have that trust in place. They've watched a ton of videos. They're really warmed up and ready to go. And we've closed 7 out of 10 calls that week. Now, we didn't have 100 calls booked in that week to achieve 23K cash collected. We only had 10 calls and we closed 7 out of 10 of them, right? You need the right sales messaging and strategy in place and to be speaking only with your dream clients, to achieve a certain level like we have without having to take 100 calls a week. We only had 10 calls booked in that week, but they were all with our dream prospects. Now, I broke this down for you guys in a very, very simple 3-step process. I didn't want to overcomplicate. I didn't want to give it any fluff. But if you are a coach, consultant, or mentor in the online space, or have an online business of any sort and are selling B2C, I'll leave a link to my Calendly down below. We can have an introductory chat. We can do a full funnel audit of you, see exactly where your bottlenecks may lie and exactly the potential to scale. And you never know, if things line up, if it makes sense, we could potentially even be working together. If you did find this video valuable, comment down below as well what kind of online business you're running, and maybe we can also see how we can help you there.